Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of British halfpenny coins, especially the classic copper issues. And some of these coins could be worth serious money. Believe it or not, people have found these coins in old jars, antique collections, and even at yard sales, only to discover they're worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In this video, we'll break down the rare dates you should be looking for, the different monarch designs collectors love, and the valuable minting errors that can turn an ordinary halfpenny into a hidden treasure. We'll also explore how condition and age can dramatically increase a coin's value. The story of a 1938 British halfpenny sounding like a hidden $900,000 treasure is the kind of idea that instantly grabs attention. But to really understand this coin, you need to step into its true history and separate myth from reality. First, an important correction. A halfpenny from 1938 is not a United States coin. It belongs to the currency of the United Kingdom. It carries the image of King George VI, not a U.S. president. That alone changes how collectors view its value and significance. Now imagine Britain in 1938. The world was on the edge of major change, with tensions rising before the outbreak of World War II. Coins like the halfpenny were part of everyday life, used for small purchases, simple transactions, and daily routines. These coins were made from copper or bronze, giving them that rich brown color that often turns darker over time. When people see a dirty or worn coin today, it's not a hidden sign of wealth. It's a sign that the coin has lived through decades of real use, passing from one hand to another across generations. The mention of an HP mint mark can create excitement, but in British coinage, mint marks are not used in the same way as American coins. Many coins from this period don't carry clear mint marks, and unusual letters or marks can sometimes be misread, damaged areas, or design elements rather than true indicators of rarity. That's where many misunderstandings begin. Small details are mistaken for something extraordinary when they may simply be normal features or wear. So where do the stories of million-dollar coins come from? They come from extremely rare and exceptional cases. In the world of coin collecting, value is created by rarity, condition, and uniqueness. A standard 1938 halfpenny was produced in large numbers, which means most surviving examples are common. A heavily circulated coin with scratches and discoloration is usually worth only a small amount, far from life-changing money. But the story doesn't end there. Coins become exciting when they are different. A 1938 halfpenny in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and original surface quality, can be worth more to collectors. Even more interesting are mint errors. Coins struck off-center with double designs or unusual die flaws. These rare accidents can make a coin stand out from millions of others, and that's where real collector value begins to rise. The idea of becoming a billionaire overnight from a single coin is powerful, but in reality, those kinds of values belong to coins with extraordinary stories, unique historical mistakes, extremely limited numbers, or special compositions. Those coins are carefully documented and sold through major auctions. A normal 1938 halfpenny, even though it carries history, does not fall into that category. Still, holding this coin connects you to a powerful moment in time. It represents a world just before global conflict, a piece of everyday life from a different era. It may not make you instantly rich, but it carries a story that money alone cannot measure. So instead of chasing exaggerated promises, take a closer look at what you have. Study the details, understand its The idea of a 1940 British halfpenny secretly holding $900,000 power sounds intense and exciting. But before the story runs away, you need to understand what this coin really is and where its true value comes from. First, this is not a United States coin. A 1940 halfpenny belongs to the United Kingdom and carries the portrait of King George VI. That means its history, value, and rarity are all tied to British coinage, not American dollars. Now step into the year 1940. This was not just any ordinary time. This was the heart of World War II. Britain was under pressure, resources were limited, and everyday life had changed dramatically. Coins like the halfpenny were still being produced because the economy needed them, but they were used in a world filled with uncertainty. When you hold a 1940 halfpenny today, you're not just holding metal. You're holding a small piece of wartime history, something that passed through real hands during one of the most intense periods the world has ever seen. These coins were made from bronze, giving them that deep brown or sometimes dark appearance over time. What many people call dirty condition is usually just decades of circulation, oxidation, handling, and environmental exposure. That worn look might seem mysterious, but in coin collecting, it usually reduces value rather than increasing it. A heavily circulated 1940 halfpenny is generally worth a modest amount, not a life-changing fortune. The mention of an HP mint mark often creates confusion. British coins from this era typically did not use clear mint marks like US coins do, and what looks like a special marking can often be a misreading of design elements or damage from wear. This is one of the biggest reasons myths grow. Small, misunderstood details get turned into big claims about rarity. But here's where the real excitement begins. Coins become valuable when they are rare, unique, or in exceptional condition. A 1940 halfpenny that has survived in near-perfect shape, sharp details, smooth surfaces, minimal wear, can be worth more to collectors. Even more valuable are genuine mint errors, like off-center strikes or unusual die flaws. These are rare accidents during production, and they can make a coin stand out from millions of others. The million-dollar coin stories usually come from completely different coins, extremely rare pieces with limited production or unique historical circumstances. Those coins are verified, studied, and sold through major auctions. A standard 1940 half-penny, even with its historical importance, does not fall into that category. Still, there's something powerful about this coin. It represents resilience, survival, and everyday life during wartime Britain. It moved through a world of rationing, uncertainty, and change, quietly doing its job as currency. That history gives it meaning beyond just money. So no, this coin is unlikely to make you a billionaire overnight. But it's not worthless either. Look closely at it, study its details, and understand its background. Because in the world of coins, real value isn't created by loud claims. It's discovered in rare details and the stories that most people never take the time to see. The idea of a 1940 British halfpenny secretly holding $900,000 treasure is the kind of story that pulls you in instantly. But before the story runs away, the real truth behind you need to understand what this coin really is, not where its true value comes from. This is not a United States. This is not a United States. A 1943 halfpenny belongs to the United Kingdom and carries the portrait of King George VI. That means its story is tied to Britain, value one of the most and rarity periods all tied to British coinage. World War II, not American. Now imagine the world. Now step into the year 1940. Britain was this was not just in the middle of any ordinary time. Resources were this was the heart of World War II. Industries were focused on Britain was under pressure. Even the metals used in coins were part of everyday life had changed dramatically. The halfpenny coins like the halfpenny were still everyday life still needed small change, but they were even used in a world filled with these coins were made from bronze. When you hold a 1940 and over time they developed today, dark, you're not just aged appearance people often you're holding a small piece of wartime doesn't signal something that passed through real. It tells the story of a coin that has lived through periods the world has ever seen. These coins were made from countless hands in a giving them that deep brown or sometimes the mention of an HP mint mark, what many people call dirty condition, but in British coinage, usually just mint marks were not used in the same oxidation, handling, and environmental exposure. Many coins from this period that worn look might seem mysterious, mint marks. But in coin collecting, what looks like a special marking can often be misinterpreted details. A heavily circulated, this is where many halfpenny is small, generally misunderstood features are turned into big claims about rarity and value. The mention of an HP now let's address the big claim. Often creates confusion. The idea of British coins from this era, a standard 1943 clear mint marks like especially one in worn and what looks like a special marking can often be generally worth design elements or damage from. It does not have the rarity this is one of the biggest reasons extreme prices. Small coins that sell misunderstood details get turned into are usually extremely rare. But
often
here's where the
with
real
unique
excitement
errors,
begins.
Limited production,
Coins become valuable
or special
when they are
historical
rare,
circumstances that
unique,
make them stand out
or in
in the
exceptional
collecting
condition.
world.
But here's where things
1940
become
half-penny
genuinely
that has
interesting.
survived in
Even within
near-perfect
common
shape.
coins,
Sharp
there are
details,
rare exceptions.
smooth surfaces,
A 1943
minimal wear
half-penny
can be
in
worth more to
near-perfect
collectors.
condition.
Sharp
Even more
details,
valuable are
minimal
genuine
wear,
mint errors,
and
like
original
off-center
center
strikes
quality
or
can be
unusual
worth
die
more
flaws.
to collectors.
These are
even
rare
more exciting
accidents during
are mint
production
errors,
and they can make a
if
coin
was
stand out
struck
from
off
millions
center,
of others.
shows
The
doubling,
$1 million
or
coin
has a noticeable
stories
die
usually
flaw.
come from
It
completely
becomes something
different
coins.
something unique.
Extremely
These are
rare
the coins that
pieces with
attract
limited
attention
production
and can
or
reach
unique
higher values.
historical
Still,
circumstances.
the real
Those
power
coins
of
are
this
verified,
coin isn't in
studied,
exaggerated
and sold
promises
through major
of overnight
auctions.
wealth.
A standard
It's in its
1940
history.
half
This small
penny,
piece of bronze,
even
was
with its
part of
historical
everyday
importance,
life during
does
World
not
War
fall
II.
into that category.
Moving through a society
Still, there's
facing
something powerful about
uncertainty
this coin
and challenge.
It represents resilience,
survival,
continuity,
and everyday life
and the
during
quiet
wartime
strength
Britain.
of
It moved
ordinary
through a world
people
of
living
rationing
through extraordinary
uncertainty
times
and change.
So no,
Quietly
a
doing its
1943
job
British
as currency.
halfpenny
That
is
history
very unlikely
gives it meaning
to make you a
beyond
billionaire
just
overnight.
money.
But it is
So no,
far from meaningless.
this coin is unlikely
it's
to
a
make you a
tangible
billionaire
connection
overnight.
to one of the
But it's
most
not worthless
important
either.
periods in
Look
history.
closely at it,
And if you take the
study
time
its
to look
details
closely and
to
to understand its
background.
details,
Because in
and
the
its
world of
journey,
coins,
you'll
real
discover
value
something
isn't
valuable,
created by
not
loud
just
claims,
in money, but in
it's
knowledge
discovered in
and
rare
appreciation.
details and the stories that most people never take the time to see.